Hello, all, and welcome to Middle Age Geeks. This week we will be discussing the new movie Weapons, which came out this weekend. Myself and Daz are very excited to have a chat about. Before that, we will be talking about some news that's popped up for us, and then what we've been getting into playing and watching for the last week. But I'm joined, as always, by my wonderful co-host Daz, who I can't wait to hear his feedback on this movie. So, Daz, what's the crack? How are you?
Good, man. Yeah, looking forward to this one. I literally came out of the movie about 40 minutes ago. And yeah, holy shit. It's hard to think about anything else, actually. Getting stuck into that. It's like, what did I do yesterday? I have no idea. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, what have you got by way of news this week?
Yeah, just a few bits of news. It was a movie I didn't even know was happening. And Tom Cruise was teaming up with his Edge of Tomorrow director, Doug Liman, on a new movie, Deeper. But the movie was due to start filming next month, and Warner Brothers has put it on hold pretty much indefinitely because they rejected when they were told the budget was going to be $275 fucking million.
Wow.
For a non-IP movie. And just like in this day and age, like star power is no longer really that much of a thing. I mean, you cannot justify $275 million when you think the last Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise and the end of a glowing franchise, The Final Reckoning and all that kind of stuff, still only made like just over $500 million. So like $275 million, it would need to make about $600 million to break even. If there was like you're talking $100 million on extra on marketing for that. It's just, movies don't need to cost that much. I mean, I don't know, is that just because you need to insure Tom Cruise? It's like, what the fuck is going on there?
I'm interested. I must read up about. I didn't know anything about that. I must have a read about it.
It's just so strange for something like that to be kind of put on hold so close to production beginning. Obviously, they would have known this for a few months in pre-production. A few other bits. Batman 2 finally is going to shoot early in 2026 with a summer 2027 release. Music to my ears and your ears, but Christ almighty, it's been a long fucking time. It's like, come on, get it done. I was looking forward to that, but a great piece of news. Henry Cavill's long-awaited Highlander reboot has landed Dave Bautista as the villain, and like, fuck yeah,
sweet,
bring it on. Yeah,
I tell you, Dave Bautista's after losing all that fucking muscle on purpose.
Yeah. Can you add 200 pounds? Yeah, so that's looking good. And then it has been confirmed by DC Studios that James Gunn will indeed direct the next Superman film, or as David Zaslav worded it, he said that James Gunn is going to direct the next movie in the Super family. So it's like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? And then the final bit, DC Studios said they're going to limit themselves to maybe 1 to 2 movies per year, and nothing more. That's obviously James Gunn. When he comes out with these little things, is obviously he has a little bit of fucking beef with Marvel. And he's commented before, on how they have messed up completely because it's too many movies, and everyone knows there's too many movies and too many TV shows, and
that low quality shit.
Yeah, and we were talking about this, that's led to Fantastic Four actually being it's almost listed as a flop now after a 115 million opening weekend, and then dropped off to like 67% drop off in week 2. And then you're kind of going, with such a strong weekend, everyone's looking around going, why aren't people going to see this movie? It's reviewing brilliantly. Audience scores are amazing. And it's like, you can look at the past 5 years. That's the fucking reason.
Yeah.
It's just, delivering substandard to schlop content.
I think they had, after all the great stuff they had a good bit of credit in the bank. But I think once we got to like Quantumania, I think that was kind of good. Okay, look, if this is it after the shows, the TV, and if this is the best you can fucking manage. I think they lost a good few people after that absolute travesty of a movie. Okay, well, with that news part out of the way, let's get on to what we've been playing and watching. What have you been getting into for the last week, Des?
Playing wise, I've been trying to finish Donkey Kong, and I just fucking can't. I've kind of stalled on it, but not because of the game, just because of I haven't been playing that. I haven't been playing that. I haven't been playing Death Stranding 2, which I'm still like that. I'm probably going to get back to Donkey Kong easier than Death Stranding. I haven't played that in like 2 or 3 weeks now, and that's just a weird fucking game. You really have to be invested in it, get into the mood. But when I have been playing, I've been playing Mario Kart more and more, and 2-player Mario Kart with daughter, playing Knockout, but playing in a different way, because when we were playing Mario Kart, it's fucking wild and wonderful and crazy. But like, playing on 50cc 2-player with 5-year-old, it's not exactly that much fun. You can get a little bit of fun out of it. But now we're playing it. The whole thing is like, we're playing as a team and I have to try and get her to win. So now that's my new strategy, and 100cc, and I just hang back into the crowd and just start fucking knocking people off to try and make sure she wins. And it's it's not the most enthralling gaming sessions, but adds a new little twist to Mario Kart. So anyone with kids out there, that's a way to play with your kids. It's all about teamwork.
It's funny you say that like that. My mate Matt, who you've met, he said same with his daughter. His daughter she made him do it, and then he just says, "Yeah, that's kind of his job now when they play is to just be the kind of wingman, just be stay back and take care of all the bad guys."
Exactly, because it means that you don't have to win. You don't feel, because even if I'm playing against a 5-year-old, I still want to win. It's just like stop being so competitive. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Watching wise, and God, I'm ashamed to say this. This actually ties into some feedback I got from Mark in Dublin, a friend of the show, who said that War of the Worlds actually has much more screen history than I had mentioned last week by just saying, the 2005 film, saying there was a 1938 radio broadcast. And
Orson Welles.
It was exactly. Yeah. And I the 1953 film, which I'd seen, but then there was the 1988 TV series, which was a continuation of the 1953 film. Ran for 2 seasons.
There's been one on, I saw pop up on Disney, whatever it's called, Fox, War of the Worlds. Yeah. With Gabriel Byrne, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. There's loads of different. So it's been, it's a lot more than just a 2005 film, but that was just recent in my memory. So I went off and I finished War of the Worlds 2025 with Ice Cube, because I think I just had to. I'd seen so much stuff online of just how appalling it was. And it's actually it's comfortably one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that I saw it at my own time at home, you just feel dirty and ashamed. Like, if you're in a cinema, you have that thing you can hold to, like, I can't really leave the cinema. I paid for a ticket, whatever. I sat there and just couldn't turn it off because I was just like, I said, I'm just going to get through this. It's just this hand to mouth moment where you're just going, oh my God, the sheer bewilderment of like how someone thought that these moments and these plot twists and this fucking movie in general was a good idea. It's a shameful excuse for a movie, and I'm ashamed that I watched it. And yes, we should absolutely review it sometime.
Nope, I'm not watching that one. It's great to have what this podcast has done to you. It's broken you, and now you start watching shit movies like I do. It's great. Actually, on that subject, when you were talking about War of the Worlds, this one last week, I said, oh fuck it, you know what, I haven't watched the Tom Cruise one in like 15 years, so I actually watched that this past week. And a lot of the effects still hold up. I still think it's a fairly average movie. There's no way Tom Cruise is taking down Tim Robbins in a fight. I'm sorry. But it was just it was okay. It was cool to see, some actors that I've forgotten were in it. Like fucking, I forgot that his kid was even Dakota Fanning in it.
Just the way that people are killed in that from the tripods, I thought was the best part of it. That's kind of just like, whoa, holy shit, vaporized. Yeah, and
they're kind of spraying them out then as like using them as fertilizer almost. Like, it's dark and it's cool. But the movie itself was only okay. A few great moments like that. The wrestling over the shotgun thing, they're trying to stay quiet like that. That is cool. And then as well, I think just that whole scene in the basement with the thing coming and looking for them. There's a lot of cool. Yeah, a lot of that is pretty cool and tense and stuff.
But it is kind of like, do those tripods just know that Tom Cruise is there? Because they spend a lot of time just trying to find this one fucking guy. And when his son runs over the hill and the fire comes up and you're like, it's a great moment. And then he just turns up at the end of the movie, just like Jurassic World when, somebody should have died at the end doesn't. That's an audience test screen, just like, oh, we liked it, but did his son have to die? Just like, okay, let's make his son not die.
And let's not explain at all how he got back there.
Because you can't, because there's a ball of flames engulfed him.
Apart from that, now, not a whole lot. I did watch Dangerous Animals, which is one we didn't end up covering because it was clashing with another movie. I really enjoyed it, man. Well, I enjoyed it mostly for Jay Courtney's performance. He's fucking he's good, yeah. Absolutely. Oh yeah, like he's just absolutely hamming it up and just like he's having a ball. Like it's kind of slasher or shark kind of horror, thriller movie. But it's really doesn't take itself serious. It's a lot of fun, and he's just larger than life character, and he's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and he really makes the movie. But I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed that it didn't make a lot of these movies. And I know Jaws is my favorite movie, but a lot of these movies make sharks out to be bad guys, or intent on hunting down humans and stuff like that. Your usual Shark Night, 47 meters down, all these type of things. This doesn't do that. It doesn't do that with regards to sharks, which is cool. Apart from that, no, I've just been playing Metroid, finished Metroid Dread. I think I'm at the end of Metroid Fusion. I just beat Ridley. Wow. And I got this what's it called, the spin attack ball thing. So I assume I'm very close to the end. So I'll do a little cleanup and make sure I have all the power-ups before I go and finish it. But good to have a couple of Metroid games. Hopefully we'll start getting some news soon about like they're showing it again. They're doing it again. Gamescom in Germany. It's on at the it's on the end of the month. Yeah. And again, Nintendo have it listed as one of the games that are going to be playable on it when it's there. And it's like, come on,
drop a release date, please.
Yeah. So I don't know what the crack is there with that, but anyway,
come up with a new logo in 2027. It's like, oh, fuck you, Nintendo.
No, they did reiterate it would be out this year, but I was kind of hoping it'd have it, a date by now at least. And that's about it on my end. So with all that done, why don't we get on to the main event, our movie review, Weapons, and Daz is going to take us through that. So Daz, whenever you're ready, take it away.
This is a true story that happened in my town. So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school. But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty. And you know why? Because the night before, at 2:17 in the morning, every kid woke up, got out of bed, walked downstairs, and into the dark. And they never came back.
Super duper. Looking forward to this one. So yeah, Weapons it's listed as an American mystery horror film. I would probably add it's like a psychological horror mystery. Yeah, definitely psychological elements in there. It's written, co-produced and directed by Zach Kreger. He of Barbarian fame in 2022. I haven't seen that myself.
I think he was like writer or producer or something on Companion as well.
Oh, you've mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah.
But very talented man. And the film stars Josh Brolin, Julia Garner, Alden Ehrenreich, Austin Abrams, Carrie Christopher, Benedict Wong, and Amy Madigan. The plot follows the seemingly inexplicable case of 17 children from the same classroom who mysteriously run away in the middle of the night at like 2:17, arms outstretched, very eerily, having apparently been abducted or something by an unseen force. And the movie follows the aftermath of that. So firstly, our review we will do a spoiler-free section to the best of our ability. We say if you haven't watched the movie, just turn off now and don't watch a trailer, watch the movie and come back and listen to our review, because the less you know about this, the better. The same as last week with The Life of Chuck. Some movies just, there's so much given away in the trailer of this. I watched it again after the movie and I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah, we'll get into spoilers then towards the end of the review. First and foremost then, so what were your thoughts coming out of the cinema?
Oh, I loved this movie. I was smiling ear to ear when it finished. I absolutely loved it. It's absolutely bananas. The performances are fantastic. The fucking music is so eerie, and it's just, and I like, it's got that same kind of thing as, Run Lola Run and stuff, where you get the so-and-so's day, so you get to see it from different scenarios. Well, I liked all of those, and you're getting a little bit more because you're kind of on like the cop kind of side and kind of on his side at the start, going, God, he's just a good, and then you see what he actually is, and you see, and when you get to see each other from each other's perspective, and some people become more compassionate towards, and some have become much less. And I absolutely loved it. I love how it was shot. all those the nighttime scenes were fantastic. There was so much darkness in it where you're almost like, fucking hell, I'm in the movie theater and I'm kind of squinting like, is that? And that just adds to the creepiness. It's funny as well, man. There are some really laugh out loud moments in it as well, which are great. And like you felt the tension, like it was really, really what I was hoping for with his next movie, because I loved Barbarian. So I was just like, okay, throw me some weird shit, give me a few jumps, just. So I'm delighted. Yeah, delighted. What about you now? Because as we've discussed on this podcast, although you're getting more into your horror now, you're not a fan of the jumps so much.
No. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I was going into this and I kind of didn't know too much about it. I remember watching the trailer and going, that looks very interesting in a kind of kind of intriguing mystery, and the story seemed like it was pretty cool. Then some reviews coming out and going, yeah, this is fucking wild and wacky and terrifying. So I was scared walking in, sitting there in an empty fucking cinema, just going, oh, fucking hell. And yeah, I absolutely fucking love this film. This is like, I just thought it was fucking sublime from start to finish. Even through there are some scares in this that are, like I told you, like my fucking nacho cheese and it's just covered all over. It's still all over my pants. It's just like fucking scared the fucking shit out of me. But just good scares. It wasn't that cheap jump scare. It was some of the scares are in, let's say, a dream sequence, but he lets you know you're in a dream sequence at the start. You see someone in bed and then you get the sequence, and then so the scares were there was definitely moments when I was 100% like watching it through my fingers at times, like a little fucking crybaby, because the sense of dread and the tone and the creepiness and eeriness, but also the tonal shifts where it is kind of funny at times and it's a little bit lighter, but then it gets really dark. It's quite gory, not gratuitously gory, but nicely gory, where you're just like, I didn't know you're going there. And it's just like, holy shit. But like he's just a masterful director. He's just so assured in everything he's doing, like from the tone and the writing. Like he even was part of the three people that composed it, and he's named on that as well. And you're just going, fucking hell, you multi-talented fucker. But yeah, just like and as a director, his main job obviously is to get performances from the cast, and they were just wonderful. It was nice to see Julia Garner, even after we saw her in Fantastic Four, and she was great as a Silver Surfer, but she was so underserved in Wolfman, where she just had nothing to do. Really nothing to do here. She has a lot to do, and she's showcasing that acting caliber we saw on the Ozarks to the big screen. Kind of finally, she's fucking excellent. But Josh Brolin is fucking excellent as well. Just everyone did their part brilliantly.
Do you know who I loved? I loved them all now, but in particular, I thought Benedict Wong was fantastic. Such he's so calm and he's so just trying to be the friendly. But at the same time, his relationship with his husband or his partner or whatever, and I'm not sure if they're married, but their relationship when the two of them in the house together was brilliant. When he people will have seen some parts. I think one of the trailers has pictures of him with the bloodied up face and stuff like that. Yeah. His whole acting, the physical acting, everything is amazing. Well, I loved him. I thought he was really funny. I think I cared about him the most out of all the characters. I thought he was brilliant. The young kid is great. I thought he was brilliant as well. I don't think I've seen him anything else, but he's very young, I guess. I was really, really impressed. I don't know his parents from anything, I don't think.
No, I didn't notice them at all. But everyone is like, there's so many standout performances. But like the Amy Madison? The less you kind of talk about her until you get to spoilers, the better.
Yeah,
but that's like an Oscar-worthy performance for me. She was absolutely fucking riveting, captivating, and
scary as shit.
Just scary just scary as shit, but just scary. And like, even when she's kind of being nice and talking softly, it's still her face, and this what they've decided to do with her face, and so simple. It's not fucking overly like we'll get into it in spoilers, but it's even just makeup choices. It's just there's so much in here. The tone, I kept thinking throughout watching it. That it was reminding me of Longlegs and kind of what the same kind of, not style, but the same kind of tone, that kind of creepy, eerie world, even though Longlegs is set kind of in a different time, different location altogether. But this movie, I think this movie is kind of what Longlegs wanted to be. And a lot of that comes down to the ending. And I think this sticks the landing with the ending. Whereas Longlegs, I think, kind of faltered it a little bit. But as you touched on there, the structure is what I loved possibly the most. I'm probably going to say that for every aspect. I'll get to it. Like the music I love the most, the writing I love the most, but no, the structure and his choice to tell the story not in acts but in kind of chapters by character, where you're seeing, I love that way of telling a story when you see the same scene or the same day from different angles, and you're just getting more information from different people. I love that. A lot of the time, that's when it's done in the movie, it's done just for kind of style's sake, or just like, oh, look, it's a non-linear timeline, non-linear narrative. Where here it makes sense because you're getting more information as it goes on, and then it culminates with, one character, and it gives you even more information and ties the whole mystery together. But it's such assured filmmaking to do that. It adds more to the story because it's taking almost like a simple enough story for the most part, but by telling it through multiple narratives, it adds mystery and intrigue to an already intriguing mystery story, which is like, what the fuck happened with these fucking kids? And the way, it starts.
Yeah, but the fact that it gets like for more information that we get, each piece of information is more fucking nuts than the last, and I love that because like it's increasing the whole. It's not. There's the part that starts off at the start, and you see, you get her story, and then we see the cop kind of stuff. You're like, oh, okay, and then you see his kind of side of stuff, and you get to see the wonderful June Diane Raphael. She had a small part that was brilliant. I didn't know she was in this. So that was great. So you see her, and that you get a little bit of background. You go, oh, okay, well that makes a bit more sense, and then. The next part when they're trying to find answers and then you start getting the glimpse of some of the answers, like, holy shit, where is this fucking going? And it's brilliant. And at no point did the extra bit of information feel like too much or too wacky, or too out there. Like it sat with it. Like there's some of these movies where when you finally get the payoff, you're like, oh, I didn't really want that. You could have just left that, as a mystery. This was fine. I liked the way this, and as you said, I think sticking the landing is a great way to put it, because I think that's what they did. The payoff was great. I loved it.
Yeah, because like they don't go all out on the mystery and then just like it's a kind of a final reveal towards the end. You're kind of getting bits that give you a sense of kind of what's happening, but you're still in the back. It's giving you information, but inside your head you go, I don't know what's going on, and I don't like where this is going. But even just it's like one of the best things, like we talked about structure and that kind of non-linear thing, but the way it just starts like straight off. There's so many other movies that would start this with, oh, here's the start of the day, and they'd be building up to these kids going missing. The stuff that you see in the trailer, when you know something's going to happen, but you have to wait 30 minutes in the movie for the inciting incident to kick in or whatever. But this starts with little kid kind of voiceover narration, which again I fucking love, talking about like, this is my town, and on this day lots of people died in really weird ways or something. You just go, what the fuck? This is fantastic. And then it just, you get that we'll get onto like the score and everything, but the music choices, like I think there's a George Harrison Beware of Darkness song or something comes on like within the first few minutes during that inciting incident of the kids all leaving the houses with their arms out, just running through the night, and it's just so creepy, so eerie. The music is brilliant, and like you're 2 minutes into the film, you're just going, I fucking love this. Love everything about this, please. And it just maintains that, and even just gets even better and better. Yeah, let's talk about music, because I thought the score was
it was excellent,
phenomenal. Yeah,
and like again, for a movie like this, you would expect the majority of it to be tense, lots of fast playing violins and lots of just really stuff creeping on. But there was a lot of upbeat stuff in this as well. Like the really went along with like the interplay with the cop between the junkie as well was wherever junkie's really a bit of a slur, but the drug addict guy, that their whole thing as well, proper fucking fast paced stuff, and there was really like fun music along to it as well, because as I said, there is a lot of levity in this. Like I forget the name of the actor, and I love him. I always see him in things and I forget him, but he was the police chief in this. He's your man's boss. I loved him. Yeah, I thought, yeah, I always see him in little bit roles and he's always fucking fantastic. Thought he was great. I thought the music, and it makes sense, I suppose, if he worked on some of the composing, Gregor, because everything just fit absolutely perfectly for me.
Like the score is so, it varies quite a lot. It serves the pace of the film perfectly. Sometimes it's just very subtle and kind of ominous and the kind of horror kind of stuff. Then it gets a bit more, it's not so much melodic, but a bit more percussion. It always just suited the scene perfectly, driving the scene to scene, shot to shot even. And I mean, and even editing wise, like the editing in this is just phenomenal. There's so many moments where it's just a simple cut from scene to scene, but it's just how it's done and the timing of it. Just I just wet myself from an editing point of view, just going, this is just fucking genius editing, and just simple sequences that were making me grin. Like it's not even a montage, but it's just a couple of shots of like Alex the kid in school. And it's like one of those stories where they're telling the day again, and it's just shots then of him walking home, but it's a shot of him in the school all alone, then walking in his feet, and then getting on a bus, getting off a bus. And it's just the pacing of it, the editing of it, the score at the same time, and even cinematography. Like the movie's fucking gorgeous, but even a simple sequence like that in a fucking psychological horror mystery thriller thing, I'm just going, Jesus, that's a really nice sequence. He's just fucking walking home, but it's just... Yeah. I just, I couldn't get over even the lighter moments. Like in a movie like this, you would think that you would be talking a lot about, it's all about, the gore or this or that straight away, but you're just drawn to simple shots, beautiful cinematography, incredible editing, and then you get to some of the jump scares. Like every time it went really quiet and you saw shots of the neighborhood at night, it was just like, oh, fucking hell. Simple things like Julia Gardner going up to a house and peering through a window. It's just, yeah.
And I know. I suppose it's not really a negative, because I know for a movie like this, you need to keep it, with a low population. But that's the thing. It was a very unpopular, unpopularized, is the word I'm looking for. Populated area. Like you see even the chase down when he's chasing down in the car. We don't think we see any other people. And then even that street when the kid walks down, and like the street that his house is on, it's in this kind of cul-de-sac area. There's fucking nobody around. There's rarely anybody about the place at all. But I think you need that. I think in a movie like this, you want them to feel like their whole world is so isolated. What happened to them happened just to this community, and they're cut off from everything else. And that's, I assume, the vibe he was going for, because that's really what it felt like. They're all grieving for these 17 kids that are gone. And I felt that. I think maybe had you had it in a bigger world, I guess, I don't think it would have had the same effect. But like the idea that you could be sitting outside this fucking big lovely house on a cul-de-sac in this nice street and nobody would come around for hours and hours, it's just, I think, it was kind of, while I was watching, I was like, is it bothering me or not? And the more I thought about it, I was like, no, you know what, it's if it was more populated, I don't think it would serve the plot.
It does make sense, because there's an early scene in the film where they're in the school and they're having like a meeting about, how to try and process and grieve and get past this, the 17 kids gone missing. And obviously Julia Garner has to try and speak and say how, try and alleviate people's worries and concerns, and just say
suspicions,
sad with them, and suspicions, exactly. And it's such a heated scenario, and it's just even thinking of Josh Brolin, like there's so much behind the couple of words he's saying, of just that sense of loss and frustration and
desperation.
Conveys it perfectly. Just like, what the fuck happened? And I think they get that across very much. Like there's a really, really intriguing story. Even if it didn't go absolutely fucking bonkers, the story on its own merits warrants your attention and intrigue, but it suitably goes completely fucking bananas. It's, before we get I can't really talk about jump scares, but the gore in this is like, if you're a fan of gore, you have to wait a little bit towards like the third act. But there are some scenes, like as vague as we can be. There's a scene in a kitchen that is played so, just, it can't really explain like how tense and unnerving the scene is, but it's It's edited like it could be a romantic comedy in terms of the editing. It's not frenetic. It's not frantic. It's just like they're having a chat and this thing is just about to happen. You're just like, oh, it's just played so weird and wild, but you're totally in it. Absolutely totally in it.
And I think it helps that the character that's not involved in, or isn't involved in what's going on so much, is so completely just calm, not stood there in shock, not stood there in reaction. It's just like, this is the most normal thing in the world to be happening on front of you. And that just adds into it as well. But yeah, I think I would agree that the gore, it's not over the top, but like when it's done so well. Again, we'll talk more in the spoiler section about some of the cooler ones. But yeah, no, I think like, I'm not sure. Do you know what the budget is for this one?
I think it was 35 million or something like that.
Right. Okay.
I need to find out what the what Barbarian was, but reports were saying this is quite an increase in the budget for his previous movie, so it's used very well. Very well. Everything looks fantastic. I think there's a lot of practical stuff going on here. Use of just makeup, of just making someone look weird and creepy and scary. Inventive jump scares. There's some gore, which is disgusting, but like pretty much looks practical. A lot of it, just like from a cinematography point of view, it's gorgeous. It ticks all the boxes. It's like the camera is constantly moving. It's either on a dolly, tracking left to right, or it's slowly zooming in or panning up. It's just, it just adds so much to all the scenes. And that's whether it's a more comedic scene or just a standard conversation in a school, or whether it's somebody doing ridiculously bananas, batshit fucking crazy shit. There's a level of mastery on so many levels here. It's so kind of striking that he hasn't so many more movies under his belt.
Yeah,
like there's a lot more to come from this guy.
And I think a lot of that as well. I think people underestimate how difficult it can be to link these things together, because we said, as you said, that this is the thing is constantly moving. And if we're telling Julia Garner's story at the start, and we're hearing about it, and then we get the next person. When we get the cops, we're getting to see his day leading right up to when he meets her, and so to have that link in so absolutely perfect that it brings you back into that scene straight away. That scene automatically becomes, everything makes absolutely perfect sense there. And I know I'm explaining it very basically, but it's to shoot these things out of order takes so much effort in regards to editing it in the end. And it's absolutely masterfully done. It really is.
And it needs to be planned in advance. Like, he's obviously has a story in a certain way that he wants to tell, and then to kind of pull it apart. It's like kind of a Christopher Nolan mastery, in Memento or something like that. Like, the story, but then how are you going to tell it? And like I was saying, a lot of the times that's a gimmick because people want to just do it for the sake of it. But if it serves the story and makes the story even more intriguing as from a viewer's point of view, then more of that, please. But I'm dying to get into spoilers here. So I think we've tackled everything we can spoiler free. Do you want to give it a score?
Yeah, like I love this one. This was I can't really think of anything I didn't like in it at all. So I'm going to give it the same as I gave Life of Chuck. It's another 4.5 for me. I absolutely loved it. Like, there's no way this isn't on my my end of year favorite movies, because I can't wait to see it again. It's I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I'd like to say same here, but I think I have to give this a 5 because I couldn't think of anything I didn't like, and everything I was watching, I just thought it was excellent in every aspect. And especially from someone who's not a fan of, like, not that I'm not a fan of this type of movie, I fucking love this movie, but I'm not the horror guy, and that's normally a bit of a put off, and the experience sometimes can be diluted because I'm just happy to get through a movie. But with this, I was loving every fucking minute. I couldn't take my eyes off it. I'd have to give it a 5 because it's excellent. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
God, we're on a great fucking roll, aren't we, man? We're on a great roll.
Oh, yeah.
Movies like,
It's fucking great.
Superman flicking 4, which doesn't count because it was a retro horror flashback. Apart from that, man, we're on a great roll of fucking movies.
Well, yeah, maybe it's time for War of the Worlds, maybe. Yeah.
No, next week is already in the bag. We're doing together.
Yeah, happy days. So yeah, go and see this movie on the biggest screen you can. It deserves your attention, your money, so he can make more fucking banana stuff like this. So yeah, if you've seen the movie, stick around for the spoilers, or if you don't give a shit and you're too scared to watch this, stick around for Spoiler Town. So Jesus, where to fucking start? It reminds me of The Substance, where you can talk. You're dancing around so many things, and you're trying to give like a roundabout view or review and opinion on a movie, but you can't touch on very specific fucking moments. This is that fucking thing. The central intrigue on it is obviously fantastic, and that is just so enthralling on its own. But when it starts to get a little bit eerie, and we got like Julia Gardner looking through fucking windows, and she sees those two people sitting on the couch, and people, that was the first time I was just like, oh, fucking here we go. It's not that type of movie, but just going, oh, fuck. Yeah, like the dream sequence and the look up to the ceiling when you first see Gladys, that scared the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, I was pretty sure, like when there was the part where he's in his when Josh Brolin's dream sequence, and he's looking at the kid in bed wrapped up, and he's like, "Where are you? Tell me where you are." And then it changes to what's the aunt's face. I thought Daz is going to shit himself.
That was the second one, like, because that was I didn't expect that. I expected the one with Julia Gardner because she's kind of. You get a sense, she's still in the dream, but she hears something, and then when she looks up and the fucking Gladys on the ceiling, that's terrifying because I didn't know who the fuck is that? I just like in my notes, like crazy bitch on ceiling. That's in my notes. But the Josh Brolin thing, because it's such a lovely, tender, emotional moment that he's getting this in his dream. He's able to tell his son that, like, miss you, I'm frustrated, I'm so sorry I couldn't protect you and all that, and then he looks back up again, she's there, it's like, oh, fuck me, sideways. It's just like, why are you doing that to me? That was Jesus Christ almighty. But then there's a lot, like, the jump scares are one thing, but it's just the thing with the parents kind of sitting down when the James is in kind of robbing the house, and they're just sitting there, and it's just like, fucking hell, it's just... what's going on here? Like, so creepy. Although I would say, like, the fact that there's a house with newspaper all over the fucking windows, just like, mate, would you not check that house again? It's like something weird with that house. But from a person who loves horror movies, like, were you scared watching this?
No,
I get scared.
No, I don't. No, but I did get, like, I can feel the tension a little bit. That's just good movie making. That's the score. That's the camera work. That's everything can put you in edge. There's no, if you didn't have some sort of reaction, well, then you might want to go and have a CAT scan because there's something wrong with your brain. Like, our bodies are wired that way. You can't be just completely unfazed by everything. But I've just watched so many of these movies. I guess I know when a lot of it's going to come, and I love them so much. Plus, I'm always anxious. So, I like the. In this one though, I still got those couple of jumps that were kind of like, I still jump when I was the ceiling one and with the one at the blanket. I still got those jumps, and had a good laugh about them. And there's plenty in this that I was laughing out loud about, and the stuff with Benedict Wong. That whole scene and his bit from there on, like, he's being this lovely supportive character. He's trying to help Julie. He's totally on her side, and all the parents are against her.
So sweet,
she's a bad guy, and he's constantly just wants to do the best for her. Do you think in some movies she's getting fired immediately? I'm sorry, I have to do it. The parent, but he's sticking to her side. He said, "No, there's no proof he did anything wrong. It's okay." And he's constantly, he's backing her up and all this kind of stuff. And he's being so supportive, and she's a bit of a bitch. And like but then. When we get that scene in the house and she, does her little bit of voodoo magic and he goes fucking bananas and he's fucking messing his head, just like plowing your man's head into the ground, his husband or whatever. It's insane. And like, you can see, like, it's not just the effect and the practical effects of him crushing his partner's head with his own head. It's the damage he's doing to his own head as well. So they've got like a prosthetic on his own head, which his whole brow is getting smashed in, which makes him look even more nuts when she fucking turns him on to go and kill Julia Garner's character. And he just fucking, he's just running through the town. And like you said, the camera cuts, he's kind of running down the street. We're following his feet. Bam, then it cuts to him down closer to a garage or closer to something else. And it just shows he's able to hone in on her. And that's all he has is just fucking kill her. And like that, he has his hands out behind them like the kids do when they all run from the house. It's absolutely brilliant, man.
That scene is, you'd say, it's the standout, but I'd say there's about 15 standout scenes in this movie. But it's that moment when you can hear him headbutting his partner on the ground, and that's disgusting. But again, it's just the sound. Saw this in IMAX, and it's like that's squelching, but it's when it's off screen, it's even more. It just hits in a different way because she's just putting her stuff together and just getting her bag ready and just like cleaning up and washing her hands and going, oh yeah, and you can hear splish, 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 and it's like Jesus Christ. But that's my one issue with the trailer and a lot of stuff online where it's Benedict Wong's face, bloodied face with his eyes, whatever, is the thumbnail, and like on some review sites it's the picture, and I know you're like, you have to give some things away in the trailer, but when you first see him, you're just like, I know you're going to get there where you're this bloody maniac run down the street. I guess someone would say that adds even more intrigue. But yeah, Amy fucking Madigan, did I say Madison earlier on? Amy Madigan, like she I know her from Field of Dreams. I know she's been in fucking probably load of things. She was in Uncle Buck as well, but Field of Dreams I remember her for. And she's there's a little bit of a different character. She is fucking unbelievable. She's the scariest fucker I've ever seen in my life. She's scary in so many different ways when you finally see her, and she's all sick and no hair and just like all this fucking kind of crumpled up kind of weirdo. But then when you see her when she goes out, and she's looks like a clown or something, but she's obviously just trying to just look okay. I'll put on some lipstick
and just look as kooky as possible, and people won't ask any questions.
Blue eye kind of shadow in her eyes and stuff, but she is unbelievable, and that's why it sticks to landing, because she's magnificent. Her control over people, and when she's sitting down with Alex and the parents are kind of zombified, and I remember, at that point you're clicking, okay, yeah, she's, she's going to get Alex, the kid, to go in and probably get something from his classmates for her to control them, whatever. There's that moment just because he's so apprehensive to her, and she's obviously just come in and she's just controlling his fucking parents sitting down there like zombies. Just like, how is she going to get him to do that? How is she going to get him on side? Is she going to try and be endearing or something like that? And no, she goes, she gets his parents to fucking stab themselves in the face with a fork it's just another just terrifyingly realistic sequence. Just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm on board. Please stop doing that weird shit. It's just, she's just magnificent.
I couldn't agree more, man. And that's the scenes like at the table when he first walks in, and and some mom and dad are just sitting at the table, and it's just dead stone face, the two of them, and it's just, she's so her switch from being the super cheery and I'm going to look after you, we're going to do this, to just like you said, this is what's going to happen if you don't do what I say. And but then again, the same thing as well when she meets Benedict Wong at his house, and they kind of show up, and she's they're talking about how the the car, or she got the wrong bus and she needs the glass of water and that, and she just switches into, oh my God, I love your house, and then straight away into like deadpan, dead-eyed sociopath then straight afterwards. She's absolutely brilliant. And the part at the end, the running from the kids, man, like I know that's probably a double as well, but that's still absolutely hilarious as well. Like, she's fucking proper making the most of it. I thought that was a fantastic sequence, the chasing at.
If people haven't seen it yet and want to be spoiled, the kids that she's been controlling, and they're all inside, she has them in the basement of Alex, the one kid, in his basement. And when the kind of spell or whatever is broken, and Alex ties her hair around this voodoo stick or whatever, essentially getting the kids to fucking charge out of the basement and chase her, and she knows what's up. But that, as like an action set piece sequence, is fucking amazing. It's terrifying. It's funny at times how ludicrous it is that these kids are just chasing after, and the camera work, because I was saying early on, the camera is so directed, like this, it's constantly moving, but it's always on a crane or a dolly, and it's lovely, just luscious kind of zooms and pans and tilts and all that. And then as the movie gets a bit wild and out of control, this sequence, it goes handheld for a fucking reason. And there's shots where it's behind the kids. One kid's out, it's running from room to room, house to house, garden.
Through fucking window,
smashing
right
through
behind
windows.
the kid. Yeah.
It's just going, this is, I don't know how much money you spent on that sequence, but it's absolutely sublime. And that's where you're kind of going, it's actually, the movie just elevated itself. You're just like, I can't believe this is actually happening. And then they get her and they just rip her apart. Like that shot when they rip her fucking face off. Oh, they rip her
Yeah,
It's her mouth
it's
open.
like
and
it's
tear her
literally
arms off.
17 like kids, like 10-year-olds, whatever age they are, just pulling this fucking woman into shreds. And then of course that's what breaks the spell and stuff like that. So then
Yeah.
when Josh Brolin runs out to see his son, there's just a bunch of kids just standing there in the yard, like catatonic, covered in the blood of this lady they just tore apart with their bare hands. It's fucking awesome.
And that's why, like, because it's obviously it's fun and humorous towards that end sequence. But even like, there's something about that demonic kind of possessed regular guy that just won't stop. Like when Josh Brolin's funny time where he keeps hitting your man James, who's possessed, and knocks him out. Then he gets up again, throws him over the couch, and he gets up again. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And it's just brilliant because it's just like they won't fucking stop, and it's relentless. So it's funny, but also terrifying at the same point.
But that whole scene, like towards the end of the, like she's getting choked because Josh Brolin is under control. Like you think that she's gotten away, and that's one of the as you said, the gore stuff that it might be done minimally. When it's fucking done, it's it's full on. He's the cop, whose name I keep forgetting, is choking her, and she's just reaching. Yeah, she's reaching behind. She pulls the potato peeler and just starts fucking peeling it along his face. Like it's unreal. And like, because they're just zombies just out to destroy this thing that she set them on, this person. Like she pulls the gun out, she's holding the gun to his head, and he doesn't even care or anything about it. It's just his only mission is choke the life out of this person. That's what, and yeah, her, like the fucking way she kills him, the way everybody dies basically is just fucking fantastic. No one gets an easy death here. Like.
Oh, it's just so many standouts. Like it's
like Benedict Wong's death. Oh yeah, because he's running down the road chasing after the car, and next thing just gets fucking plowed out of it through intersection. And like when we cut out, we just see his fucking jaw, brains, everything all over the ground. And I was like, fucking hell. Yeah, it's so good.
Like when it hits the height of kind of this action kind of set piece at the end, it's the heights of dread and gore and scares. And then there's even one of my favorite sequences when Julia is outside the house and she falls asleep outside Alex's house.
Yeah.
The door opens and you just see the figure. It's obviously the mother, I think, coming out, or was it the mother or somebody anyway coming out, walking, flailing their arms around. And as you were saying, it's so dark, so you can't make out what's inside the house, but it's so dark. And then you see a figure coming out and it just walks by, but the camera is inside the car and just watches the character come down right outside the door where Julie is, and there's no scare or anything, and then the camera stays there and she goes out of frame and you just hear the door open, the car, and you're just like, oh fucking hell, and you just hear some breathing, and then you just see a hand come in with his scissors and it just cuts a little bit of her hair off and then disappears again, just going, and there's no cuts in that, and you're just going, that's the mastery of just knowing when to cut. For a lot of horror stuff is just jump scares, it's jump cuts, it's all this kind of shit, but this is just one single take and just doesn't cut at all, and it's even more fucking terrifying. I just absolutely love that. Knowing
like you said,
when to
not just one take. So many would pan around to show the lunatic in the car beside them, and it's just just keep the camera on Julia the whole time through it, and it's great. And I think that I think the budget, I think, for the first one, like it was something like 4.5 million, I think, for Barbarian. I say it's first one, I mean, for Barbarian. And it made because it was well reviewed, I think it made about 50 million, which, is considerably low when we talk some of the movies we talk about on here. But the money is so well spent here. I really, really hope that it does well. Like, I know it's obviously reviewing well, but I just hope that word of mouth, or people are like, yeah, go and see it. It's fucking class, because he's made great use of the budget here, and really want to see more of this, more of this caliber. Because it's outstanding.
Yeah, well, I think it's like he had said he's a fan of the film Magnolia, and that was kind of an influence, a very mild influence, which makes sense from the kind of narrative shifting all around the place and the cop character as well. But yeah, he's a director to watch. I could talk about this for another fucking 2 or 3 hours, but it's just go see it. It is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. One of the best ones so far this year. But listen, fair play, Daz, for taking us through that, because like you said, we could easily have this spoiler section could be fucking 2 hours long with all the shit we're going to talk about. But yeah, get out there and see it. Thanks as always for everybody for liking, subscribing and tuning in every week. If you can keep on doing all that, sharing, tell your buddies. And yeah, take care of each other, and we will see you all on the next one. Take it easy.